November 2025, monthly meeting of council. We will start the meeting with a 2-minute silence, so for Remembrance Day. So if everyone could please stand in, if you don't mind. Thanks very much, everyone. And with that, I'd just like to thank everyone who was involved with the Remembrance Day services on the weekend. All the churches and groups that were involved. The RBL did a fantastic job as always, organising the event. I know Councillor O'Brien had a lot to do with that. So and many other people, Mike Eames is here as well. So thank you, Michael, for all your work you did on the day. It's really great event for the village to come together and remember our fallen heroes. So thank you very much for that. Secondly is apologies for absence, please.
Angela O'Connor and Councillor Rebecca Fogarty.
Thanks very much. Any declarations of interest from anyone or anything on the agenda?
From last year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that.
With agenda item with motion, don't we, if we've got children in local schools, declare personal interest?
I suppose, yes, you are right. That probably is an interest. So yes, that's a good point. So yes, I will also declare interest with that. So Laura, myself and Francesca.
Well, myself, I'm a governor.
Good point, yeah, governors, yeah.
Do we have to do it? I'm not sure.
I think to be safe, just say a personal interest.
To go.
Yeah, well, it's better than me saying sorry with you.
Is Helen here?
No, she's not now.
Okay, because Helen's children as well.
Yeah, okay. All right, so no other declarations of interest.
As Helen.
I'm a governor as well.
Okay, thank you, Carrie. Okay.
So I'm a governor in. Yeah.
Thanks, Nev.
I'm a governor. Yeah, I'm a governor as well.
Okay, the next item, number 4 on the agenda, is public participation. This gives any members of the public the opportunity to ask questions on items that must be on the agenda. So if there's anyone from the public who would like to ask a question, that would be the time.
That's all. I'd like to ask a question. I'd like to ask something really. As it is Remembrance Armistice Day today, about the Harry Libby plinth that's sitting in the yard down in where Knights Brown used to be. I'd like the committee really to sort of enforce somebody to try and get that back on the promenade rather than have it stored away somewhere strange and away from where it is now. And I'd just like you to consider that really.
Okay, thanks. That's, yeah, it's obviously not on the agenda, but as you made a link of Remembrance Day to it, then I think Kerry's got an update on that she to share with us.
Yep, so this has been picked up by the Story of Mumbles, Mike Beverley. She's working with Ashley, our maintenance officer, and we're relocating it into the garden of the off-stream. So Ashley's going to go and collect it and relocate it into the garden here, because obviously I believe it wasn't to be left on the promenade anymore. So to ensure the heritage of it, it's moving down here.
So, this is really on the pier, I feel, and so do a lot of other people. Oh, not the pier, on the promenade, sorry, where it was originally. There's lots of room there, and the heritage and history of Mumbles is concerned around the pier. So I think that's its rightful place. And I don't see the significance really of it having outside the Off-Stream Hall. And other people have said the same thing.
The significance of having it outside the off-stream is so it doesn't just sit in a storage unit somewhere. It's obviously on display in Mumbles. We as Mumbles Community Council don't have control over Swansea Promenade, so we're happy to home it for an interim period. If members of the public would like to contact Swansea City Council and make their feelings known, or contact your community councillor for your ward and ask them to put your views forward, be able to be.
So Francesca wants to just say something on this. It's not on the agenda, so we won't spend too long on it, but
It's down to the budget, Mike. Basically, there was no intention for it to go back onto the prom, which I know is many people were disappointed with that. They basically said it either goes to here or it's in the junkyard essentially. So I think MCC are taking
Who actually said that?
physically say
It's in the junkyard.
well, not physically in the junkyard. It either comes here or it's going to be disposed of because there is no budget for it going forward, unfortunately.
I know we're not debating that, I'm sorry, but if there's a budget to move it here, it can be a budget to
No,
move
it's
it yards.
going from Knights Brown depot to here. Knights Brown are doing that on a telehandler. So
okay. We won't talk about this anymore, but I think as a Swansea councillor and Francesca and Angela and myself, we're more than happy to meet you and discuss it separately because Swansea Council obviously is in charge of that, the prom, and we'll happily pick that up with you another time. Mike, is there anything on the agenda that you wanted to?
Unless graffiti's on here, but the skate
It
park.
was last month. It was a long item, I'm afraid, but you missed that. So you miss a meeting, Mike. And that's what happened.
No, well, thank you for your answers.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so number 5 is to approve the minutes of the meeting held on the 20th of May. There's been a couple of changes, I believe, to these, and some people have had some issue with some of them. I'll just give a minute for everyone to look through and see if they've got any issue with the minutes from the meeting back in May. Get to carry, no hands up over there. I know some loves them. Okay, there's no issues with them. I'll move that to a vote. So all those in favour of approving them. Sorry, May 25. It's on the agenda, Pam. Yeah. Okay. All those in favour of approving the minutes held on the 20th of May. Thank you very much. It's carried. And number 6, the special meeting held on the 25th of June, so also a long time ago. That is item number 6. So again, there was, I think, something that, from memory, I think Rob spotted something on this one. I think that's been changed. We'll just give everyone a minute to look over those, and if there's...
Sorry, this is now. October,
No,
June.
Just one here.
Yeah, I'll give it a minute to find them. There's no rush. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not a contingency budget for the clerk was basically the main thing. Okay, so there's no edits to those or any concerns? Can I move those to a vote? All those in favour? Thank you, that's carried. Any abstentions?
Sure whether I was supposed to vote or not.
She wasn't there.
Yes.
Good one. That's I suppose. You mean you didn't watch it back? Ah, right, nice, good answer. God, top marks today. Right, okay, number 7, to approve the minutes special meeting held on the 30th of June, 2025. So again, that's in your packs. Item number 7, annual review of governance was there, annual accounts.
It's a
Document right at the bottom.
All right.
It's the internal audit.
You were at that meeting.
There we are. So
Yeah, okay, so I don't see, oh, Helen's hand is up. Yes, Helen, come in.
I think I was at that meeting.
I
That's
checked
when-
Helen, and you weren't there.
Okay.
Apparently, Kerry has checked the recording and apparently you weren't there, Helen.
Is that the one on the internal audit meeting where we went
No,
through?
I can double check, and if Helen is there, you're happy to approve the minutes with that.
Helen, just so you know, Kerry will check again, but we'll
Yeah.
approve the minutes with that potentially being able to be
Okay.
edited. We can do that,
Thank
okay?
you.
All right, okay, so there's nothing else on the minutes there. If I'll move those to a vote, all those in favour? Okay, that's also carried. Okay, because they've been bounced around for quite a while, those ones. Okay, to approve the minutes held from the 14th of October. Okay, these are also in your packs. This is quite a big agenda, so you've obviously had them, so all had a chance to go through them. I don't see any hands up. Okay, so I'll move those to a vote as well. All those in favour of accepting the minutes? Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, so just moving on to my chair's report now, so get comfy. I don't know if anyone online's got any children who want to tuck into bed, so that'll be the time to put it on. As we move into the autumn period, I'd like to thank all members of our staff for their continued commitment to developing and improving across the community. We've had a busy period ahead with several significant projects now reaching important stages. I would like to welcome the newest member of our team, Hannah Hunter, who has accepted the role as Bookings Officer for Mumbles Community Council. We were very lucky to have many very good applications for the job vacancy. So thank you to everyone that applied and congratulations to Hannah. I hope you're with us for a very long time. Unfortunately, it's not all good news, as this month we said goodbye to our marketing officer, Claire Anderson. Claire has worked really hard for many events and brought our community closer as a result. I would like to thank Claire for all her hard work over the years and wish her all the best in the future. She leaves behind several very well-established events and a great legacy. It's not in my report, but I'd also like to thank Claire for her time during COVID. She did quite a lot of the reach out to the community and liaising with everyone on that. So big thanks to her, and I'll try and get that added in as well. We also said goodbye to Elaine Wright. Elaine has given over 10 years of service running the Ostream Centre to a very high standard. I can happily say that she put her heart and soul into the role, and the centre is very lucky to have her, and it's been run to an extremely high standard. Elaine has set a very high bar to follow, and I wish her all the best in retirement. Again, I haven't put this in the chair's report. I like to go off piste a bit, as you can tell, but Elaine used to sort of come in and turn the lights off and make sure the heating wasn't on, and all these sort of little things that she went that extra bit further. So she will be missed, and it will be hard to replace her there. Firstly, we are eagerly awaiting the consultant's report regarding the long-term operational model for Underhill, the hub and management arrangements for the 3G and 3G pitch. This report will help us understand how these facilities should be structured going forward, whether that is continued directly through MCC or via an alternative governance body. We expect to receive this next week, and we look forward to discussing the recommendations further. At Underhill, the installation of the bollard lighting has started. This improvement will help safer passage from the car park and through the site during the winter months, particularly benefiting children, families, and people using the sports centre in the evenings. We are also pleased to confirm the refurbishment of the basketball court at Langland with fencing is scheduled to begin within the next month or two. The current setup is no longer fit for purpose, this represents a significant investment from MCC, something the whole council should be very proud of and happy to deliver. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank you to the Vice Chair, Martin O'Neill, for attending the Yarn Bombers poppy installation at the castle this week when I couldn't make it because I was working. This is a brilliant piece of community creativity and remembrance, and thank Martin for representing MCC whilst Sunday, I laid a wreath on behalf of the Community Council with my Swansea Council colleagues. Mumbles Community Council is also, is important as a community. We continue to honour and remember those who have saved and given the ultimate sacrifice. And I was proud to perform that duty. A big thank you to the RBL and All Saints Church, as always, for organising such a fantastic service. Okay, thanks for that. Moving on to the clerk's report now, item 10.
So just to keep councillors updated and to keep projects moving forward and to avoid unnecessary delays, the decisions have been made under the council scheme of delegation. For the Underhill Community Hub, a Carberry station purchase, which was obviously circulated around all councillors for approval prior to the purchase being made. And the Langland basketball court resurfacing, there was an additional decision which needs to be made on the type of surface that was put on there, and that was used with powers delegated to myself, which means I have to report that back to council after taking that decision. As Will's touched on last month, we saw a number of staffing changes within the organisation, and I'd like to thank and recognise the service of the previous events and marketing officer and also the Ostrom Centre manager. I extend my very best wishes to them both for the future and thank them for their hard work. I'm also delighted to welcome Hannah, who has joined us as the new bookings and customer service officer and has made an excellent start settling in quickly and is already adding value to the team. I'd also like to extend a heartfelt thank you to all of the staff for their ongoing commitment during this period of change. Their positivity and teamwork is greatly appreciated by myself. The next update from myself is that the budget consultation will be going live this week via SurveyMonkey, and I strongly encourage all residents, community groups and stakeholders to take part in this consultation. It will be available online through Mumbles Community Council's website, and there will also be hard copies which can be collected from the office here and returned, and it will be open until mid-December. That's all the update from me. Thank you.
Thanks. Can we get some of those in the library, maybe? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, cheers. Just so people can pick those up on hard copies down there. And if anyone would like to circulate that, I'm sure it'll be
Would it be to reply to them in the handwriting rather?
Yes, it says.
Yeah, so it's consultation that will be questions that are yes or no, and then some of them will
Thank
be
you.
asking for people's views, and then they can kind of write them in because it will be hard copy. Analyse them, and then the results of that will come forward to the January meeting.
The hard copies. So if anyone post them in, or do they drop them in?
Literally drop them here. We can put drop-off boxes in the library, the hub here, and the community centre, and they can just drop them back in there.
Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, if anyone else wants them anywhere else, I'm sure we can facilitate that. So we can get in touch with Terry. Okay, number 11 is to consider a written motion. MCC fully supports our local schools, which offer a legal and inspiring curriculum to stimulate the inquisitive minds of pupils in our area. This is from Councillor Pam Erasmus has put this forward. Pam, we'll give you a couple of minutes if you want to outline.
Yeah.
Okay, seconded. So that's not on here, but we'll amend that for the minutes then, seconded by Sarah. So if I want to if you have a minute or two to outline
course.
why you brought this forward, and if Sarah wants to follow up after you, that's fine, okay?
I put it on a few weeks ago. I'm a governor of local schools. I've been to a governor's meeting with Cheltenham staff and support staff, and in and out of meetings and round and about. And of course, the topic came up about what had happened at another local school. And quite off the cuff, staff said that they were really concerned coming into school in case anything happened at our local schools. And I also found out that our schools had to take specialist advice on how to cope with anything that would happen in and around the schools if somebody got to training. So the two things is one with staff being quite anxious at times about what could happen in our local area, and the fact that they'd have to go for training and get advice from experts. I thought this was quite a put upon. So that's what concerned me in the first place. We are governors of, all of us have been governors of some time of our local schools. I think of as parents, and I talk to grandparents and about the place. So we're all, I think, have a working idea of what is mandatory, what must be taught in our schools. And I think if you go look at our local school, they go way above that, way beyond what they're supposed to do, and they've been absolutely marvellous. So what I wanted to say to our schools is, one, as a community council and as councillors, you have our support. If you need us, we'll come and back you up with anything you need. And I just think it would be nice to put out to our local schools and staff and parents as well who have been concerned that the council knows that if schools need us, we are here, we are governors of all of our local schools, ex-governors as well, parents, grandparents, and just to put out a little note of support. And I thought that'd be a nice thing, and that was what they needed, because I could see the concern that many staff have. And being a teacher, having been a teacher and getting up in the morning feeling really scared about going into school, as some teachers were, not necessarily in the Mumbles area, I thought it was heartbreaking. So I want to say that in Mumbles schools, we are a community council, we are based here, they've got our support and we've got their backs if they need us, and that was just it.
Okay, thanks. Sarah, did you want to say?
Yeah, well said, Pam. Yes, I was at one of the meetings Pam was in at Grange, and yes, there is concern. And it really shouldn't be. They do a brilliant job. They work really hard for us. They're bringing up the next generation. We need to know that we have their backs. And we said, of course we do. So this is about this.
Okay.
Good.
I think as Sarah's finished, you certainly
Yeah,
can.
that's fine.
Yeah.
What are we specifically concerned about? What is your issue here?
It was the concern about what happened in the school in Town Hill. Mayhill.
So that's impacted on the parents of the schools down here and the grandparents.
It's one of the concerns for the teachers. That this could happen anywhere.
I think teachers have got.
Okay, it's not an open debate here, guys. Okay, Carrie, would you like to come in?
Yeah, I just can't see what possible argument there could be against this. So I would suggest that we move straight to a vote, and I request it would be a named vote, please.
Yeah, I think you have to get a seconder for a name vote.
I'll second it.
Okay, so that's fine. Francesca, do you want to come in?
Yeah, no. Although I'm not going to be commenting on what you specifically said, I can't see anybody disagreeing the sentiment behind your motion. I think that is across the board, not just as a mum. But yeah, I'm not going to comment on what you've said. That's a separate matter and that shouldn't be brought here. But definitely, but it's based off that. So, but what I will say is I will be supporting the motion because I don't think any of us should be sitting here if we disagreed otherwise. Yeah. So no, we have to have a name vote as well.
There we are. Ian, are you happy to record a name vote? I don't think there's any more hands. If we could, are you okay calling the names out?
Yes, I will.
Just one thing I'd ask, just for clarification from Pam. The word legal, why is that necessary?
Because there are certain things in schools that are mandatory, they have no choice, they have to be taught.
Right. Okay.
Perhaps I should have put mandatory.
No, it's just for clarification.
Okay, guys. So if we move to a vote on that, over to you, Ian. Over to you. I think if you
Or just go through each one.
yes, sorry.
Give them the names of the councillors.
Record their names next to that.
Right.
Register.
If I just go through the order I've got, would that be okay? Councillor Will Thomas,
Support for, yeah.
Councillor Martin O'Neill. 4. Councillor Rob Marshall. 4. Councillor Francesca O'Brien.
4.
Councillor Ian Scott.
4.
Councillor Trevor Carl.
4.
Councillor Laura Gilbert.
4.
Councillor Sarah Keaton.
4.
Councillor Phil Keaton.
4.
Councillor Xanthe Keaton.
4.
Councillor Pam Erasmus.
4.
Councillor Tim Sue.
4.
4. Thank you. Councillor Helen Nelson.
Support.
Thank you. Councillor Carrie Townsend Jones.
4.
Councillor Dave Lewis.
4.
Have I missed anyone?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Just- That makes it easy.
All right, thank you. Okay, guys, thanks very much. Moving on to item number 12, which is the financial report. It's all in your packs. You can see these are all the transactions for the council for the last month. So if anyone's, I don't like to rush through this, so I'll give you a minute to look at them, just because obviously there is might be some things on there that jump out at you, because there's a number of payments. Kerry, just while everyone's looking at the figures on there, I've asked Paul if we could section the Underhill thing separately, just for transparency in future. Maybe we could break that down even further to, you know, premises off stream, just have subheadings next to in the financial report, potentially.
That's the suggestion.
Well, I don't think it's an official council suggestion, but it would be nice. Yeah, I think. Okay, Francesca.
Just on the financial report, I can see we're buying property in Cardiff. I know that Cardiff is still relatively local. Just a query, is there any options of looking local coffee?
That in relation to the hub.
Yeah.
I believe it comes. Does it?
It's a Cardiff coffee. I haven't got anything against Cardiff, but
I can double check.
I'd like to support local. Because that's if we've got that ability to do that. Yeah.
Well, just one thing I noticed on here, and it's just to explain, I suppose, is the polo shirts for the volunteers for the Story of Mumbles.
Yeah, they've been doing some events. They've been doing several events. There is a sundries budget inside the Story of Mumbles for things like that. But yeah, the polo shirts. For example, they went to the railway event at Black Pearl. What else have they done? Bookfair Saturday. They've done quite a few things, and I think they look really smart and good. So yeah, it's happy with that. The only other thing, Kerry, which I bring up every month is the.
Sorry, can I just?
In a minute. Let me just finish off on one point. Sorry, just while I'm just thinking about it, the interest on the account should be in a high interest savings account, and we talked about looking there.
Somebody who wants to come and do a presentation about.
Okay, great, because that would obviously we'd be able to do one more project a year if our preset was sitting in a high interest account. Carrie, over to you.
Yeah, sundries budget. I've never seen that. How much is in it?
3,000.
Right. Okay. So that money then will go out of that budget.
That's correct. Yeah.
Right.
So,
is it 3,000 every year?
It's so I believe so there's 3,000 sundries. Yeah. So that's for equipment, room hire if they need it. Not that they've needed it. A laptop scanner. They've got a scanner before. Polo shirts, things like that. So it's obviously that any money not spent goes back into the council's underspend then.
Okay.
It's like
So all the parking fees that we're paying for them, they all come out of that sundries budget?
I believe there's a report coming forward with regards to that. Yeah, there won't be, with regards to parking, the Story Mumbles now operates at the hub on Monday, so they won't be
Okay.
doing any more parking issues. But I think if you saw how much work Bev did for how much she gets to coordinate the project, I think everyone would be amazed because she is working.
I'm not arguing with it at all. I know. I mean, I've seen her. I've worked with her. But I'm just querying. You know, we've got a sundries budget, and therefore these things that come up on the finance report, we just need to be aware and assured that they are coming out of that budget.
They would do, yeah, and that's at the clerk's discretion. So
thank you.
The clerk agrees those. They stay up to, remind me how much it is, up to what figure? Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay, so if there's no further questions on the financial report, move that to.
Sorry, I didn't hear anything that Kerry said. We can't hear online at all.
In that I've got delegated powers that sit within inside the budgets themselves, so to spend up to any given budget amount.
Lovely, thank you.
Okay, I don't think you're actually on mute. There we are. Great, thanks. So moving to right, number one, recommended the payments made by the RFO October 2025 be retrospectively approved. So all those in favour of that one firstly? Thank you, that's unanimous. To approve the budget monitoring report from August 2025.
That's a should actually be the report that's contained. The budget monitoring report is actually for up to September.
Okay, Ian, are you picking that up as well? Just that
I've amended it, Chair. Okay. Thank you.
So that's up to September.
Yeah.
Up to the 30th of September. Okay, so to approve the budget monitoring report up to the 30th of September. All those in favour? Thank you. And number three, to retrospectively approve bank transfers made between Mumbles Community Council bank accounts from October 2025. All those in favour? Thank you. Flying through here. Okay, so item 13 is to consider the committee recommendations. So we'll go to those. Okay, so I'll read the just a brief headline for this out. So Mumbles Traders grant application, the grant application of 2,300 to contribute towards the annual Mumbles Christmas parade. So Angela's not here.
No, it's me anyway.
Yeah. Oh, of course it is. He's mixed up. Sorry.
Don't have information, so I have to turn to Kerry and ask if everything has been satisfied.
From Paul Whitaker. Paul Banyan, RFO, has been going through that information today and has confirmed to me via email that we have received everything that we requested. Please comply with the previous SLA that was in place for the grant funding that we have previously provided. So based on that, the recommendation from committee was if everything was satisfactory, you were recommending that we make the grants, yeah.
It's a very good event. Obviously, it's well attended, and we've supported it for a long time and very popular. Any questions at all?
Paul is satisfied.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So no, it must be the Grinch, don't they? Okay. So all those in favour? Okay, that's carried. Thank you. The second one is Mumbles Traders grant application. Grant application of £2,715 to contribute towards the installation of 53 Christmas trees and lights in Newton Road. Now that they're not massive Christmas trees, you can imagine they're the ones above the shops. So is there, again, same situation, I guess, Kerry,
We're happy.
RFO is satisfied with all the,
There was a third request in relation to that we had a breakdown of how the 2 grants were going to be spent information in as well. All satisfied.
and it's good. It shows that we're doing proper due diligence as well, which is obviously what everyone would expect, especially Mr. Eames. So, any questions? If not, all those in favour? Thank you. The Mumbles will be looking Christmassy. That's good. Number 3 is a grant application from Mumbles Baptist Church. Grant application for £500 to contribute towards providing a safe, competitive Christian and non-Christian football team, giving them a purpose within the community. So I understand this is to be spent. Basically, there's a new football team that's set up. Oh, sorry, Rob, I'm stealing your thunder here.
You go for it.
Yeah. Go on, that's you're the chair of that committee.
Well, that's all right. They've asked for £500 to set up a Christian football team, and to be honest, yeah, why not? The more people play sports of any age around here, the better, I think.
Christian and Christian.
He does say that as well.
Sorry, but via the church anyway.
Yeah,
the church. So yeah, the more people doing sports, at any age, the better, and it's only £500. To set up. So yeah,
and I believe some of it's to hire change rooms and stuff, which is via us anyway. So
yeah,
there we are. Yeah. So if there's no questions on that, I'll move to a vote as well. So all those in favour? All unanimous. Culture and Tourism Committee.
She's asked me to just do that for her because she's.
Okay, do you want to present that one then?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, the first one's self-explanatory. It's these Lamb Train having that Christmas parade. It was a really big success last year, and for us to put the money towards it, it's £240 towards it. That's the first one. The second one, part of the Lamb Train, is through the delegated powers from our committee. Okay. The third one, speaking to Angela, she wanted to withdraw that one, and so did I. So I'll check.
Which is the bottom one here, the alternative recommendation considering holding Christmas parties. Remember to see that one?
Yes, she just wanted to keep it. So I asked Kerry, are myself and Angela allowed to withdraw that off the? And so we just keep it as it is now, so it'll be £750 per ward.
Yeah. Chair, if it's okay on that basis, I'd like to ask all councillors in their wards, because we obviously haven't got an events and marketing officer at the moment. I need to know exactly what the wards want ASAP, so myself and the team can work to get this booked in ASAP, please. So,
yeah, the 4 councillors are on the ball with that. Yeah. I know. I'm not saying anybody else isn't on the ball, but I mean, because I know West Cross do theirs after Christmas. You do it before, sorry. But yeah, we've been talking as a quartet all day about our Christmas party, so we're well on the way to getting that.
Could you explain the mandatory thing on the second point? Not mandatory, delegated powers, you said.
The Lamb Train, the additional expenditure paid through the delegated powers of the clerk and RFO. In addition.
Okay, I got nothing.
Yeah.
So could someone just give me a bit of clarity on this? So basically what's being suggested is that the Lamb Train is going to operate on the same day as the road closure.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, as part of it.
And that the cost of that is £240, or is
yeah.
Okay, that sounds very reasonable. When you usually ask Swansea Council or something on that.
Up and down the front, it'll have Father Christmas on it. Obviously, we'll have staff there to do the marshalling on office from 4:30 till 6:30. It's £240. There's money available within the culture budget, which obviously myself and Paul have delegated powers to approve spends within the budgets of the committees.
There was a caveat though, that all councillors had to dress possessed.
Just to confirm, so that's not a recommendation, that is given the information. Okay, right, so that's just for information, that part. So the only recommendation is this first one here, is that to either retain the existing system of each 4 council wards.
No, we've taken that off.
That's the first one. The second one you tend to take off.
Yes, to withdraw both. And obviously there was a whole discussion in the committee. We're talking about whether they kept them singly or whether we combined them and what they wanted to do. They've since further discussed it and now are withdrawing those recommendations from this agenda as an amendment. And the suggestion is that we carry on with the 4 ward parties as we've done historically.
Their parties at different times and aim them towards a different age range as well of people. So I know you do yours for the younger people more, and then it's more for the older side. So things like that, you know, it just makes much more sense for each ward to decide what they want to do.
Okay, so
run their parties.
Okay, thanks. So the recommendation is that we keep the existing system of Christmas parties. Is that good enough? Okay, so all those in favour of that? Okay, thank you. That's carried. So there's no nothing from community and social, nothing from the environmental committee. So I think this is where we say goodbye to number Sarah. 14. Oh, right, okay. Sorry, Mike. It was almost to consider chair and vice chair of committees to sit on selected interview panels. So we've had a lot of personnel changes lately, and I can see your hand, Carrie. I'll just finish off. Yeah, we've had a lot of personnel changes recently, and obviously some people want to be involved in the interview panel for specific jobs related to their committees. We've obviously got a personnel committee which it deals with personnel issues, and the clerk and the RFO and any other relevant staff conduct the interviews. And if there's any sensitive interviews, we potentially sometimes outsource those as well, don't we? However, some people in some of the committees, for example, I know Carrie sat on the environmental committee when we appointed the last officer for that. And the events officer, I think the chair and vice chair for the events committee want to sit on the interview panel for that. It's all scored via some scoring mechanism. Yeah. So, you know, it's mainly just to, I suppose, be present and see what people are like, I guess. I think it's a good idea because they obviously have to work with those people a lot. Like the environmental committee work directly with that officer, and the events committee has to work directly with that officer. What I personally, and this is just a personal opinion, don't think is a great idea is if councillors get involved in all staffing appointments and sit on interview panels for everything. I think those 2 positions are quite unique in the council, but that's just my opinion. So Carrie, do you want to come in?
Yeah, I want to disagree with that because yes, I did sit on the interview panel. What was that? Nearly 2 years ago. We then had a clerk who had only been in post a couple of months. Now we have a highly experienced chief officer who's got HR background. She's been extremely effective at appointing staff so far, and I honestly don't see why we should change that. I don't agree that the environmental officer should only work to the environmental committee. They should cover everything across the whole council, and exactly the same. It's not an events officer as far as I know, unless we've changed the rules. One of the main parts of it is marketing, and marketing actually affects every single committee, and every committee should have an equal say in the input into that role. So it just seems to make sense that we just leave it with the chief officer and the RFO to conduct those interviews. I guess we could say that a chair of a committee, but not necessarily those two committees, might want to sit on the panel as an observer, just to be able to be sure that, you know, everything is done and you know, that they feel that the right process has gone through. But I honestly don't see that we want to start bringing chairs and vice chairs onto all the interview panels, because in some cases there are going to be people on the shortlist who are known to various councillors, quite likely the chair and the vice chair of that committee. And I don't think that's appropriate for them to be sitting making decisions when there is someone on the committee that is known to them.
I think anyone who was in that situation would obviously have to declare a personal and prejudicial interest and wouldn't be in that situation.
And then, so what's the point? You know, why not just take it out of the equation completely? You know, we have 4 chairs. Maybe we should, you know, have a chair of randomly of a committee allocated each time to sit there as an observer. But I don't think they should be decision making.
No. There's no suggestion of decision making. That's down to the clerk. They are.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
As far as I'm understood, it is just as the observers. I think Pam was first.
Without wanting
So they would purely be observers and have no vote.
So if you could meet yourself, sorry, you could come back in later if you like to, but we're just bringing someone else in now. Thanks, Pam.
Without wanting to put down anybody who is a chair or a vice chair, I think the person who should be doing it is the most qualified. I think the idea of the chair sitting in as an observer is a good idea.
That's a good point.
But we have people, all as councillors and around chair, and then people who are highly qualified in this area. And I think they should be the ones who will be more independent, and I think that should be taking over this, as they always have.
Okay, thanks, Sarah.
I'm just concerned that any of us, it becomes a bit incestuous if we're interviewing people and it's a village and we all know each other. So I think if we allow the professionals we've already hired, who are really good at their stuff, to do it for us, it means a lot. I'd also argue that I use the events coordinator probably more than everybody else, because every Friday we do the warm-up. We need advertising to go out. We need them to often find stuff for us. So if you want to have that argument, I should say I'll be there on the interview panel, but I don't think I think it gets a bit silly there. I think we need just the professionals and all step back for our sake.
Yeah.
So we can say when we've got and it wasn't us that did it, you know? There we go.
Rob, do you like to come in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the one who brought this to the council. I understand what Sarah's saying, and you know, you use the events officer for the marketing side. And I understand what Pam is saying, and I totally agree with what Pam said, that it should be people with the experience. When it comes to an events officer, there's so much more than the marketing side of it. There's the events. And the reason myself and Angela wanted to go on this is because we have the background with our professional careers of events and music and stuff like that, which and Will does, of course, but not on the music side so much. But, and no disrespect to either Kerry or Paul, they don't work in the arts in that way. So there are things we can bring to the table and analyse and make suggestions that other members of the council can't. And there are a varied range of skills around this table for very different things. I would never ask to be on the environmental panel for something, because although I care about it, I don't have the knowledge that other councillors have here. So I agree with Pam, it should be people with who've got the skills. Why stop the people with the skills being on a process to get the best possible person? Yes, we might know the people on.
I would see you
Maybe
voting.
just wait for it to come in.
Yeah. We might know the people on there, but we might not. We get people applying, and I've never known any of the
Good
environment.
evening, councillors. Would somebody with skills please do something about West Cross? We have nothing in West Cross. The Keatons are hypocrite. Pam, David Lewis, we've never seen you. Goodbye, councillors.
It's all right, I think,
It's muted now, Ian.
Nothing, nothing for West Cross. What does West Cross get? What does West Cross get?
Chuck her out. Yeah.
Cut me out, go on. What does West Cross get? No answers. What do you do for West Cross? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
She's muted herself, Ian. She's muted herself.
Yeah. So just to get back to my point, it was, you know, various roles that we employ. There are people with a skill set which would be valuable to that particular application, and that's the reason myself and Angela have asked to go on.
Because none of you in there are valuable to West Cross.
Yeah, she has gone now, but I think in future, like, obviously there's a structure, there's an opportunity for members of the public to speak, and hopefully we'll
respect that.
Rolf, do you have,
No, that was my point, and I know Pam wanted to come back at me with something.
Just to say that I agree, but you would be on the panel as a non-voting to advise the panel, but you wouldn't be there as a voting member.
That's fine.
Voting.
That's fine. It's
because there's so many skills that are just not hold on to that specific area, but wider that everybody.
So how
that's voting member, that's a very good idea.
So as a suggestion, just to you know, to move things forward, if no one else has got any more points, if oh sorry, I apologise. Carry on.
Well, I just wanted to come in and say I think we've talked about this going back some time now. Is as a council, I really think that we need to separate the council from the staffing structures. Is the council do the decisions, the clerk and the RFO run the staff. So whichever way we're going to do this, we need to set a precedent, and a precedent that we stick to going forward. So if that's the case, I think if any councillors are going to sit in on any of these interviews, they need to be there purely as an advisory position. And ultimately, you know, when it comes to governance, ultimately the decision as to who is appointed needs to come ultimately from the clerk.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question of that, and I don't think anyone was suggesting, just to clarify for the sake of the video, I don't think anyone was clarifying anything other than that. Just before I bring you in, Kerry, I know you're waving, but if you saw the benefit of bringing a councillor with specific skills in through property-related travel, you know, for example, so if there was the benefit of bringing a councillor in, you could do that. Have you got the powers to do that now, or?
That's what you need to.
Yeah, but So if you were to bring in if you wanted to bring in someone that you thought would help the process, we could vote on that now, and you would make that decision.
What I'd like to ask though is that you limit it to a certain number of councillors, because what I don't want is
several people.
4 or 5 councillors sitting on an interview for somebody when it's it's quite daunting. Yeah. You would expect that many councillors if you were interviewing for an RFO, deputy clerk, but when it's a lower level, it's limited for councillors.
Okay, Sarah, then Carrie.
Yeah, just quickly to say, and also as long as they're not sitting in on something when they know the person that's being interviewed, because that can.
Yeah, I'm sure that's again, that's a prejudicial interest. Yes. Shouldn't do that, Carrie.
Yeah, the logical suggestion seems to be we have a personnel committee, as you said. Why don't we refer this back to the personnel committee to set clear criteria for selection and interview? And that way then it's a standard procedure, personnel committee have all agreed it, and everybody abides by the same rules.
I don't think the personnel committee does the interviewing, no.
No, we don't do the interviewing. We just set the procedure by which the chief officer organises the selection, shortlisting and interview.
I mean, we could do that, but full council's the ultimate body, and mainly most reason something would go there is to save time, really, I would think. So Rob, I think,
Just to finish,
just very quickly then.
just to say, I prefer the full council vote on it now, because we'll actually achieve something now than sending it back somewhere else.
What I don't know, reading the room, if we were to give the clerk the opportunity to co-opt councillors in the interview process up to 2, clerk, chief officer, if they deemed it beneficial, would that be okay with them?
Yeah.
Up to 2.
Up to 2.
That's the clerk's decision.
Yeah, and obviously no one with a prejudicial interest could partake in.
Think about the poor person who sits in their interview when they walk into a room full of people.
No, it's a maximum of 2.
Okay, so
It's sensible.
let me just say that recommendation again, okay, just to clarify. So the clerk will be given the chief officer will be given the powers to co-opt up to 2 councillors who have a unique set of skills. To help and advise in the interview process.
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favour?
Yeah.
Okay. There we are.
Yeah.
We got through it. Exclusion of Mr. Eames and the.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Nice to see you.
I'm still getting involved in the meeting.
Yes.
Cheers, Mary. On a chair.
Oh, no, you're right. All those in favour of moving into closed session? Yeah. Thanks, Ian. He is, isn't he? He's sharp, that one. Oh.